The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
As a business owner or administrator of GoldMine, do you need to make certain records, certain contact records read only, or even hide the complete record from some users? Well, if you need to do things like that, if you see benefit of doing something like that in your GoldMine system, then I'm referring to a little used feature of GoldMine that I want to introduce to you. So, hello, my name is Tim Wilmot of Wizard Systems. Welcome to another GoldMine 101, our fairly regular series of short GoldMine presentations giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of the system. And in this session, I'm actually going to cover two features of GoldMine that encompass what I've just described. It's record ownership and record curtaining, and they can sometimes go hand in hand. They're complementary to each other. So we are Wizard Systems. I know many of you watching live know of us, but we generally help out small and medium-sized businesses improve their sales productivity, marketing, and customer service through the use of simple and affordable software solutions like GoldMine. Now, this overview of record curtaining and record ownership will be about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour or so in duration. It's a sort of overview of this feature, not meant to be an in-depth presentation of all of the security features around that, but my company, Wizard Systems, can advise you further if this is of interest to you. The audio part of the call is one way only. If you've got a question, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those at the end or towards the end. And also at the end, I'll give you an update on any GoldMine product news as well, just to keep you in the loop. This call is being recorded as well. So you will get an email from our system with a link to recording afterwards, and we'll pop it up on our YouTube channel as well, where you'll find instantly loads of other previous events that we run and little tutorials on lots and lots of different features and capabilities of GoldMine. Quick introduction to who we are. So, long-standing provider of GoldMine and any kind of service you can think of around GoldMine, the product, upgrades, implementation, training, and the training can be your place, our place, or online, or whichever is more convenient for you, and all the ongoing technical support as well. Okay, so what is record curtaining and record ownership? Let me show you an example. I've logged in as a particular user who has had this setting set against them. This is a record and it is read only to this user. Try as I might, I'm clicking on the top half of the screen here. I can't edit any of those fields. This record is read only, and then lower down the record where you would normally see, as a GoldMine user, you know you've got lots of tabs here, one or many tabs there, allowing you to see more detailed information about this contact record. Well, they are hidden to this particular user, and it says who it's private to there. We can see who the owner or owners are. So how is that done? Now, a little bit of a caveat here, and an important thing to point out is that this is a security feature of GoldMine, and you need to think carefully about what it's doing. And certainly you shouldn't allow your ordinary, you just log in here, you shouldn't allow your ordinary GoldMine users to amend this particular setting. It is normally done after consultation with us or you thinking as a group of users. We need to hide certain records from certain users, or we need to make records read only. Why would you do that? Well, it might be that you have some confidential records, for example, maybe a record of the bank manager or some HR records or something like that. Of course, with GoldMine, you can track many different types of contact records in there. You may want to keep them hidden from one or many users. Then where you want to allow people to see the record, but not all of it. You may want to hide the record, and there is partial curtaining and full curtaining in GoldMine. Partial curtaining is where the user will see the top half of the screen, but they won't get to see all of the bottom tabs. Complete curtaining or full curtaining is hiding the whole record. So where you saw that example of mine just a few minutes ago, that would hide that record. And as the user scrolls through the database in a certain sequence, if record curtaining has been deployed, then the affected user may, as they scroll through certain records, they will be blank. They won't be able to see that record, or that certain records may be read-only if they are not the owner or in a group of the owners. These settings are normally set through the edit menu and record properties and record related settings. And here we are here. This is ownership. This is where we can define for this contact record here that we saw that user trying to access. For this particular record, who is the owner? Well, that could be a user or it could be a group of users. So I've got a group of users here called support. I could allow anyone that's in the support group to be the record owner and have full editing rights against that record. So allied related to that is the record curtaining. The default is none. The default for record ownership is public. This is the default. When you start using GoldMine, this is what it will be. The default with GoldMine and most CRM systems is that, well, in the interest of sharing information, that's sometimes one of the goals that you want to achieve, is to foster teamwork and the sharing of contacts with team members and all of your customer-facing people. You don't want to necessarily hide information or make it read-only or make it difficult for people to edit. But there may be some examples where you do need to do that. And I would say it's more likely in larger installations of GoldMine. If you're just a 2 or 3 user GoldMine, you may not need to do this. But if you just employed a new person, or someone may be part-time, or you've got different sales teams, and these different sales teams, they manage different territories, for example, or a different range of contacts, and they don't need to see the other team members' contacts, then this is where you might, particularly this is where you would often see this feature being used. So there's the record curtaining there, and you can apply it record by record. So that is the record ownership and record curtaining feature. Just wanted to show you there. Hopefully that will be of interest to you if you do particularly want to make records confidential or read-only. As we normally do on this session, open out to any questions you've got around this feature, or indeed any GoldMine question you've got right now. Not necessarily a technical question, but if you've got any question that you'd like to ask me on this call, those of you listening live, please pop that into your question section. A question, there's a couple of questions come through. Question from Francis. If we try it and decide it's not for us, can we easily go back? Well, there's no edit undo. You've got to manually, well, okay, it depends how many records you might have changed. If you just want to try it, maybe just try it on a few records, but communicate that to your team and make sure that users, if you're using this feature, make sure your ordinary users don't have the ability, or normally they wouldn't have the ability to change this security feature. So disable that from the menu. You can do that in GoldMine. You can prevent people tinkering around with record ownership and record curtaining. So try on a few records. If you have done it to many records, well, you could change all of your records back to public and no record curtaining with a global replace, so using the global replace feature of GoldMine. And I also think territory realignment does it as well. Basically, they're little wizards that take the administrator through the ability to change a value in the GoldMine system in one process. So that the actual value, when you use this feature, the actual value is stored in a GoldMine contact record. Users would not see it. They would not see this particular value that triggers this this feature. So you could use the global replace to automatically change all records in your GoldMine database, or indeed as part of a filter. There we are, Francis. Hopefully that answers your question. And Steve, can you hide opportunity records? Well, that is not part of. Okay, well, they would be hidden against a record with that partial curtaining and hiding the tabs. So you wouldn't see it there. The other option you've got in GoldMine, when you set the user up, you can also prevent a user seeing other users' sales. So that might be opportunity to sale. So that might be another way of doing it there. So possibly a couple of ways of approaching that, Steve. Right, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. Thank you, both of you, for those. Latest news for you, just a reminder of GoldMine training. We, after getting back to normal now, after the pandemic, we're back to organizing our general GoldMine training courses. So if you've got any new starters or you want to get to the next level in your GoldMine knowledge and really get it working hard for you, then we have a number of GoldMine training courses. We have a GoldMine course for starters. We have an advanced GoldMine course. We have a course for administrators where we do cover this particular security feature. And also a marketing course for GoldMine. Of course, there's a marketing bent to GoldMine, and it can play a very important part in your organization's marketing and communication. So please contact us for more details on GoldMine training. The latest release of GoldMine, we always recommend people to keep up to date with GoldMine, and the latest release is 2022.2. And there's a little hotfix thing there. So we get these major releases. So the last major release was 2022.2, released a few months ago. And then within that, we get these little hotfix as well. The main things in this is support for 64-bit Office and Outlook. It is a more secure version of GoldMine using the latest .NET version, just to be a bit technical. And there's a few other technical bits and pieces as well. We always keep our GoldMine blog up to date. You can access that. If you just do a Google search for GoldMine blog, Wizard Systems, you will find it there. And there's loads and loads, hundreds of blog postings there. And we do notify people of the latest release. And we do also, for major releases, we do also do a mail out to people, not necessarily the hot fixes, but we rely on sessions like this to advise you of hot fixes that may have come out that you may want to implement on your own GoldMine system. So 2022.2, and then at the end 31166. You must be on maintenance to get these updates and upgrades. If you don't have a GoldMine maintenance contract, then please contact Wizard Systems. We would love to help you out, and there are some special offers around too if you're not on maintenance to get back on maintenance as well. So that's me done for this session then on record ownership and record curtaining. If you're a GoldMine user and you've got any ideas for future 101 topics that you would like me to cover, something short, say 5-10 minutes, something would be of interest to other GoldMine users out there, please drop me a line, tim@wizard-systems.com. Thanks all of you, for those listening live, there's looks to me there's about 18 or 19 of you listening live. Thank you very much indeed, and we'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.